Welcome to Bad Guy Compendium, the ultimate podcast for fans of comic books, movies, and the unforgettable villains that make them unforgettable. I'm your host, Finley Strong. Cruella de Vil is one of Disney's most memorable villains, known for her extravagant style, unmistakable laugh, and of course, her infamous obsession with Dalmatian puppies. Created by British author Dodie Smith in her 1956 novel, The 101 Dalmatians, and brought to the screen by Disney, Cruella has become an icon of villainy. Her distinctive fashion sense, ruthless personality, and endless ambition have cemented her as a symbol of style and malevolence that has evolved across multiple adaptations, including animated classics, live-action films, and a dedicated origin story. Who is Cruella de Vil? Cruella de Vil is not your typical villain. She is flamboyant, sophisticated, and carries a flair for the dramatic that makes her as compelling as she is terrifying. Unlike many villains who seek revenge or power, Cruella's motivations are entirely based on her love for luxury and fashion. Her obsession with creating a coat made from Dalmatian fur is one of the most chilling and unique motives in the Disney villain universe. This article dives deep into the history of Cruella de Vil, her appearances in various adaptations, and her lasting impact on pop culture, from her animated debut in 1961's 101 Dalmatians to her reimagined backstory in Disney's Cruella 2021. Cruella de Vil was first introduced in Dodie Smith's novel, The 101 Dalmatians. In Smith's 1956 novel, Cruella is the epitome of high fashion and wealth in post-war Britain, a socialite with a reputation for extravagance. She's depicted as an eccentric woman with a peculiar aesthetic. Half of her hair is black, while the other half is white, a look that would become her trademark. She is a cold, calculated character whose cruelty towards animals is central to her personality. Her desire to make a fur coat out of Dalmatian puppies shocks readers, underscoring her utter lack of empathy and disregard for life when it interferes with her ambitions. Cruella's name itself is a clever play on the words cruel and devil, perfectly capturing her character's essence. From her debut in Smith's novel, it was clear that Cruella was not just a typical villain, but rather a symbol of vanity, greed, and an exaggerated pursuit of beauty and style. Disney's 101 Dalmatian. Cruella's animated debut. Disney's 101 Dalmatians, released in 1961, brought Cruella de Vil to the big screen and made her an instant icon. This animated adaptation retained the character's distinctive look and personality, but amplified her into an unforgettable presence that would haunt audiences for years to come. Cruella's design and personality. Mark Davis, one of Disney's 9 old men and a legendary animator, was responsible for bringing Cruella to life in the animated film. Davis drew inspiration from the exaggerated movements and fashion sense of contemporary actresses and socialites, as well as a combination of horror and humor to make her both terrifying and unforgettable. Her lanky, angular body, exaggerated gestures, and high-pitched cackle became essential elements of her character, making her unlike any villain Disney had created before. In this adaptation, Cruella is depicted as a wealthy heiress with a peculiar obsession. She wants to make a coat out of Dalmatian fur. Her love for fur and fashion drives her to commit heinous acts without remorse, as she schemes to capture and kill Pongo and Perdita's litter of puppies. Cruella's desperation and insanity are highlighted in the film's climax, where her car chase in pursuit of the Dalmatians reveals her true, unhinged nature. She is a villain not for power or revenge, but purely for her selfish, materialistic desires. Cruella de Vil's debut in 101 Dalmatians was met with both fascination and horror. She was immediately recognized as one of Disney's most terrifying villains, as her willingness to harm innocent puppies in the name of fashion was unprecedented in family films. Her striking appearance, dark humor, and memorable voice acting by Betty Lou Gerson made Cruella an unforgettable character, cementing her as a villain audiences love to hate. Cruella de Vil in 101 Dalmatians live-action adaptations. Disney's live-action adaptations of 101 Dalmatians in 1996 and its sequel, 102 Dalmatians in 2000, reintroduced Cruella to a new generation. These films starred Glenn Close as Cruella de Vil, whose performance brought a fresh, yet equally menacing, take on the character. Glenn Close's Cruella, a new interpretation. Glenn Close's portrayal of Cruella de Vil is celebrated as one of the most captivating villain performances in modern cinema. Close's Cruella was both glamorous and terrifying, balancing elegance with madness. Her costumes were extravagant, designed to reflect Cruella's obsession with fashion and wealth. Close infused her Cruella with a sense of entitlement and ruthlessness that made her feel both intimidating and grounded, providing audiences with a Cruella who was a bit more relatable but still entirely villainous. Close's performance breathed new life into the character, making Cruella a central figure of the film rather than merely a plot device. This version of Cruella was even more ruthless, sophisticated, and driven, qualities that made her feel like a powerful antagonist for the modern era. The live-action 101 Dalmatians was a box office success, and Glenn Close's portrayal received widespread acclaim, with critics and audiences praising her ability to make Cruella both funny and terrifying. Her performance would influence later adaptations and interpretations of the character, including Disney's modern reinvention in Cruella 2021. Close's Cruella became a pop culture staple, with her flamboyant costumes and devilish attitude capturing the imagination of fans worldwide. Cruella de Vil in Once Upon a Time. A new twist. In 2011, Disney's ABC television series Once Upon a Time introduced Cruella de Vil as a recurring character, giving fans a fresh take on the iconic villain. In this series, Cruella, played by Victoria Smurfit, is given a supernatural backstory that explains her ruthless personality and obsession with fur. Unlike previous versions, Once Upon a Time's Cruella is depicted as a literal sociopath, a woman born with the inability to feel compassion or empathy. She is shown to be cunning, manipulative, and charming, using her beauty and sophistication to get what she wants. The show's take on Cruella gives her supernatural abilities, such as controlling animals, which provides her with a new level of menace. This version of Cruella was well received by fans of the show, as it provided more depth and complexity to her character. It demonstrated how Cruella's story could be adapted to fit a darker, fantasy-driven narrative while still preserving her defining traits. Cruella, the origins of Cruella de Vil. Disney's Cruella, released in 2021, was a significant departure from previous adaptations, as it provided an origin story for the character. Starring Emma Stone as the young Cruella, this film reimagines her as a misunderstood anti-hero with a passion for fashion and an ambitious spirit. In Cruella, viewers are introduced to Estella, a talented but rebellious young woman who is eventually transformed into the infamous Cruella. Set in 1970s London amidst the punk rock revolution, the film explores Estella's journey from a young designer with dreams of success to a vengeful and cunning fashion mogul. This Cruella is not born out of pure malice. Rather, her transformation is the result of personal loss, betrayal, and the competitive nature of the fashion industry. The film's costume design, led by Oscar-winning costume designer Jenny Bevan, plays a central role in establishing Cruella's evolution. Each outfit worn by Emma Stone reflects Cruella's inner transformation as she becomes more confident and unapologetically bold. Cruella's fashion style evolves from timid elegance to bold and extravagant, mirroring her shift from Estella to Cruella. Cruella received mixed reviews, with some critics praising the film's visual style and Emma Stone's performance, while others felt that it softened Cruella's villainous edge. Nonetheless, the film sparked significant discussion about the character's complexity and the nature of villainy. Cruella presented a fresh interpretation of a classic villain, blending elements of punk rebellion, revenge, and fashion to create a multi-dimensional character who resonated with modern audiences. Cruella de Vil is not just a character, she is a fashion icon. Her bold aesthetic, characterized by monochrome outfits, fur coats, and dramatic makeup, has inspired fashion designers, artists, and fans around the world. Her signature look, half black, half white hair, has become an instantly recognizable symbol, representing both elegance and wickedness. From runway collections inspired by her extravagant style to Halloween costumes and parodies, Cruella has permeated popular culture in ways few villains have. Her influence on fashion, particularly her love for bold patterns and fur, has made her a touchstone for designers exploring themes of luxury, decadence, and the darker side of beauty. The enduring legacy of Cruella de Vil. Cruella de Vil remains one of the most iconic villains in Disney's pantheon. Her character has evolved from a one-dimensional villain in the 101 Dalmatians to a multifaceted figure in Cruella, yet her essence remains unchanged. She is a woman driven by ambition, vanity, and an uncompromising sense of style. Whether portrayed as an outright villain or a complex anti-hero, Cruella continues to captivate audiences with her unapologetic boldness and love for high fashion. Her impact on pop culture, fashion, and the way we view female villains is profound, and she serves as a reminder that villains can be just as memorable and influential as heroes. Cruella de Vil will continue to inspire, fascinate, and horrify for generations to come. Subscribe to Bad Guy Compendium anywhere you get your podcast or at roguemedianetwork.com and get ready to delve into the minds of the most iconic villains in pop culture history. I've been your host, Finley Strong, and remember, evil never sleeps, but bad guys are forever.